So I know no one likes it when they bitch and moan about their parents online, but my parents have given me really quite a hard time of it over the years. A really hard time over the years, in fact. And I'm hopefully now kind of seeing, I think, the end of that because I'm unwilling to put up with any more of it from them at all. And I'm talking about things like the gaslighting, the abuse, the emotional and psychological abuse, the the threats of sectioning and things such as this for saying the wrong things about them or what have you, or saying things about them that they don't like, or going to try and get you locked up for it. Um, that is well, it's unbelievably abusive. It's against the Human Rights Act. It's uh, yeah, degrading and humiliating on various levels. Uh, yeah, it's the treatment of a human being like property, and like that's all they really know. Like all my dad's only real understanding of how to treat another organism is the way he treats animals. Like do what I tell you to do, otherwise I'm going to hit you or something like that. As always, stern, violent, and my mother's sort of like her inclination is the same. Like yell at you, and then you'll do what you're told. And I want them to know, like from like the outset, the only stake in any success I have or will ever have will be in spite of you, not because of you. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with you at all, really. In fact, if you'd sorted yourselves out at some point, both of you, I might be way further ahead than I am now. And I've tried to get to like, very hard to get to places in life, like becoming a writer, a stand-up comic, and so on, and no appreciation for that at all. I write a book and self-publish it, Sergeant Arson. And like, what do they do? Do they talk about it? No. My mum reads it, fine, but like, why aren't you promoting it to everyone you know? Why don't you share my Facebook posts about the book onto your Facebook? Or are you embarrassed of it or something? That's how it comes across. Like, well, I'm an embarrassment to you for writing a book. How fucking dare you? Do you have any? And she's, by the way, the sort of person who's gone through nowhere close to the sort of effort in anything she's ever undertaken that a book is equal to. She's never written anything like for a fucking book or gone through that much effort. You don't know what that much effort entails. That's years of work, you fucking idiot. Like, and my father's like, book, what's that? Like, it's a thing with words in it. It's got stories or facts in it, you fucking pillock. And he's like, oh, he's got like an IQ in double figures, books all treat all with suspicion and such the medieval mind. And no, you can't read that. That's like from men of the church or whatever. Like, fuck off. And the racism, sexism, homophobia, and like my mum excusing it all on the part of her boyfriend. And you're like, oh, it's just men of a different generation. It's like, yeah, well, loads of men of that generation aren't like that. So no, that's not a fucking excuse, is it? And like, is the excuses excusing like the years and years of abuse since I was like 12 by this cunt she was in a relationship with, who she didn't need to be in a relationship with. It makes me fucking angry. And just like get away with like allowing that sort of treatment. It's like, oh, because she's in a wheelchair, like she doesn't have the responsibilities of an adult to take care of her children. Like, no, you have to call social fucking services if that sort of thing happens, or the police. Except you didn't do that because you're fucking in Stockholm syndrome. And this recent business with my cat, I will not forgive you for that, ever. That is like a low fucking move. That's the move of, frankly, a psychopath. Or it's sadistic, is what that is. Having my cat put down and not fucking telling me about it. You're evil. You are evil for that. And My father's evil. Was trying to like get me sectioned in Broadmoor or something with a stupid affray charge with a sword that never happened, or this drink driving thing that never happened. His twisted, evil scum leech that is like embedded onto his fucking breast or something, or up his arse or on his cock, and like won't let go until she's got like all his money. And she's just like manipulating him, and he's going around like a little fucking puppet. Oh no, she never do that. It's like, oh fucking hell, you're so unbelievably pitifully naive, and you're so like far beneath like where my intellect is. You're like a good 2 standard deviations below it, I bet. Not that you understand what a standard deviation is, because you haven't read any maths or statistics, or you don't know any fucking shit about that stuff. And then you're like, oh, they criticize my exploits in amateur science. Like they even have GCSEs equivalent to mine in science, which they fucking don't. It's like, you know nothing about physics, says my mother. It's like, all right, name the 4 fundamental forces of nature then. She was all like, like, didn't know there were 4. It's like, oh shit. Like, like, the reading I've done is like a 29. Presume like to hold yourselves at a pinnacle in terms of intellect. By the way, on a prejudicial basis, also on an ableist basis, because of me suffering from schizoaffective disorder. You think that makes you more intelligent than me? Like, you are nowhere close to being as intelligent as me. That's the fucking problem with you. And my mum's, oh, she's getting a first in history. She studies like a part-time degree full-time with help from her carers, and it's hence cheating on it. So you're cheating on it. Like, I do it like part-time while working also, and get high 2.2s. And then like eventually like, fuck this shit. I can't do anything with a 2.2. This is nonsense. This is bollocks. I've really tried hard to love my parents. Really. They've made it fucking difficult though. Really hard. They're unbearable. And twisted. I think that it's just something to do with this fucking land and money of my father's, and it's all trying to like just straining towards that fucking golden payday. Oh, if you get sexual for a long time, it doesn't matter. Like, it does fucking matter. It's my freedom. You are scum. You're scum for doing this to me. Kill yourselves. Maybe, right? Don't kill yourselves. Consider killing yourselves. No, but is that malicious communication? I don't think it's malicious. Is it grossly offensive? What would be grossly offensive? I don't care. Well, I do care how it can be construed in law, frankly, because it's somewhat important. But, you know, you do this to someone, yeah, this is how people react. And I'm sorry to say, it is a justifiable reaction to say something to someone like, kill yourself for how you've been behaving, if they've been behaving atrociously, and if their behavior has systematically and deliberately damaged someone's life and their prospects over a course of many years. And like that goes back to childhood, really, with, you know, the yelling and the threats of violence, or the violence, or the homophobia, you know, saying don't be gay and so on and so forth. And yeah, the deeply homophobic environment tainted with like horrible right-wing Christian thundering in the background, and like moronic, illiterate, ignorant, you know, anti-intellectualism, you know, just like dumb, thick, servile, dogmatic, prim, conservative, twee, middle class, nonsensical, you know, like authoritarian crap, minute 2-word answers to complex questions, and a general kind of mistrust, scorn, and approbation of the intellectual pursuits in favor of mere bickering and petty argument and reductionism in favor of real learning, and then the assumption of superiority on this hateful basis. So no, I don't regard it as grossly offensive to react that way at all in light of these sorts of criminal activities going on in the home. You know, in light of this sort of abuse, so long and protracted, and so unapologetic also, and so and perpetrated from a stance that seeks to say it is my right to treat my child this way, or it is within my right to do this to someone, to a kid. Of course, it isn't. You need punishment for it. Everyone who is involved needs to be punished for this. You know, from grandparents to parents to Rob, you know, my mum's boyfriend himself. And yeah, you need to suffer for what you've done, for making someone else suffer. And that's how it would work if there was any justice in the world. So yeah, go fuck yourselves at least.